insufferable mother-in-law wants me to sit at the siblings table and babysit all kids at the reception. So we cut her off and we'll go on a vacation instead. My husband and I were invited to my brother-in-law's wedding in the new year. 3 months ago, my husband's mother told us we would sit at the table with all the other siblings. Most siblings are under 15 years old and the youngest is 8. My husband and I were fine with this as long as we sat together. However, my brother-in-law asked my husband to be a groomsman a few days ago, and he accepted. I was thrilled for my husband as he isn't super close to his brothers. I asked where I would sit now that he was at the wedding party table. My husband shrugged and said they likely won't move tables around that much. I asked the bride, who said I was still sitting with the siblings. I politely asked if I could be moved to the table with the grandparents, but the bride declined. I told her that I was not spending thousands of dollars to be a babysitter. She said she understood, but the seating is final. We argued a little more, but she ended the argument by saying I should be happy to be sitting with the kids because I work with kids, and I should be flattered the family trusts me enough with this responsibility. I began to argue, but the bride snapped that if I hated kids this much, I shouldn't have become a teacher. Please don't get me wrong, I love his siblings, but they are all at least 15 years younger than I am. I also love kids. I'm a teacher, but I want to relax and have a good time at this wedding. I also forgot to mention there will be cousins and kids from the bride's family at the table. I told my husband all my sentiments, and fortunately, he was understanding. So we zoomed in with the bride and groom yesterday to address our concerns. The bride just said that she confirmed with the rest of the family that the siblings will all be under my care during the reception. I asked if it would just be my husband's siblings, to which my brother-in-law said, we don't know yet. Other family members and cousins who might want to sit with their cousins are coming. I would then say, so this is the kids' table. And my brother-in-law would say, that's not important. This is where things got interesting. Turns out we were being punished. The bride adds my mother-in-law into the chat. She tells me to stop being selfish, and that if I had a problem with being at the siblings table, it's clear I have a problem being in the family, and that I want to create problems on their big day. My husband was shocked and asked what made her say that. My mother-in-law then says that it's clear I have been manipulating my husband away from her family. I was completely shocked by these accusations. My husband said that these accusations were rude and inappropriate, and demanded my mother-in-law apologize, or he would be cutting her off. Mother-in-law started crying. The bride said we never included them in our wedding. We eloped, and that this was my opportunity to prove myself as a dedicated family member. I just sat there, jaw on the floor. My mother-in-law snapped, saying she knew the type of person I was from the second I excluded her from her son's wedding, and I was a selfish manipulator who wanted to steal her son from her and destroy her family, and that my husband, in enabling me by not insisting I put the family's needs before my enjoyment and babysit the kids during her other son's big day. She hoped my meltdown would show my husband what kind of person I was. Needless to say, we fought for a few more minutes before my husband slammed the computer screen down. My husband and I chatted for a moment. He apologized for his family and reassured me he knows none of those things his mother said were true. We turned our phones off and had a date night. My husband has been in contact with his mother and brothers, and we will use our trip to visit my old friends from uni. I am excited to meet them.